Welcome to the bold analysis. What is making it difficult for Musalia Mudavadi to recognize Martha Karua in a public event that is not a government state function? What is making it very difficult? And I have followed a bit of an interesting development, a drama in Bukhungu Stadium, in an event that was attended by Martha Karua and Musalia Mudavadi. Mudavadi found himself in dilemma. But was it all planned to avoid what could be a political propaganda on Musalia Mudavadi? Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. Prime Cabinet Secretary, the son of Mudavadi, attended an event in Bukhungu Stadium. He graced the Episcopal Golden Jubilee ceremony of Bishop Emeritus at the stadium, and the same event was attended by Azimio la Umoja Deputy President candidate Martha Karua. Martha Karua arrived in that event earlier than even Musalia Mudavadi. And this was after she's been in the Western wing for some time, over the weekend, to catch up with Raila Odinga, who also flew back, and yesterday was in Bondo, attended a burial ceremony in Bondo, and today attended another burial ceremony of a senior Luo elder in Seme. So Karua has been that wing, has been that area to catch up with Raila Odinga on the lakeside. And what I understand, and of course when I saw, if you look at that photo, you look at the way the seats were organized, that is Mudavadi, the governor, and Martha Karua, there is no denial that Martha Karua was not a gate crusher in that event. Martha Karua was there by organization, and she was planned to be there. She didn't just get there. And so what I have reliably captured is that she attended that event representing on behalf of Raila Odinga, who was invited and was supposed to attend it. Actually, initially Raila was supposed to be the chief guest, who was also supposed to attend it. But Raila sent Martha Karua, but because of not denying someone political optics, it was not important to mention that Martha Karua was representing Raila. But if you do your background checks, that's what you will gather. So when the program started, the other speeches were done, and I think even Senator spoke. Then Governor Fernandez Baraza invited Musalia Mudavadi. After making a speech, he invited Musalia Mudavadi. And when Mudavadi was making his speech, he never even gave chance and recognized Martha Karua's presence. Of course, he recognized Martha Karua's presence, but never went beyond even now in inviting Martha Karua. And what many people are actually saying is that Mudavadi, according to the protocol team, Mudavadi was the one who was supposed to invite Martha Karua, and that's why Fernandez Baraza did not, because she knew in terms of protocol, Mudavadi will just extend generosity, or there is humility, and invite Martha Karua to make a speech. Then after that, completes the speech. But when he made his speech, he ignored Martha Karua. And that's why I just ask a question. Don't you think Martha Wangari Karua has an already very vibrant profile in this country that cannot be only be minimized to being a running mate to Raila Odinga? Martha Karua has been forefront fighting for democracy, and she was in the same breath with Bishop Emeritus in 2010 during the promulgation of the new constitution. So politics aside, was it wise for Mudavadi to ignore Martha Karua. That makes a difference. During the last state event, I think it was the National Prayer Breakfast, William Ruto, who was supposed to invite the president, broke the protocol and invited Martha Karua. And in that event, Martha Karua was representing Raila Odinga. And so when the bishop, because the program was handed back to the church, and when the bishop rose to make his speech, he acknowledged Martha Karua, gave the profile, and decided to invite her to give her speech, saying that because when at the secretariat of the of making the new constitution, she was in the same meetings and she worked in the same secretariat with Martha Karua, and because she lobbied for women's rights alongside Martha Karua, there was no way in her event Martha Karua can be there and never fail to talk. And she had to invite Martha to make her speech. So Mudavadi was left with an egg in the eye. But do you think that it was by design for Mudavadi not to invite Martha Karua? Was it organized by the event team that is only going to be done by the bishop? And so I ask, how about if Raila was in the event? Then he fails to speak. What will happen? And maybe Raila skipped it by design, said maybe not to attend it, and just to make sure that this is here. But I want to look at it two ways. There are two reasons. If Musalia Mudavadi made a conscious decision to ignore Martha Karua, then he just wanted to avoid a political propaganda that will be meted, that will be framed on him, that he's actually betraying Mount Kenya and is now bringing closer Martha Karua. It would have brought those political undertones, and that's why he could have made that decision that, look here, I am not going to attend. One notable figure that was missing in that event is Francis Atwoli. And recently, Francis Atwoli met with Musalia Mudavadi. And since meeting, that is the first public event that Mudavadi is attending. And that event was very significant because that is the first event he was attending as a prime cabinet secretary, as that prime minister. So people wanted to know the protocol, how things are running there. Now, if the second reason that could have made Mudavadi not to could be that Mudavadi did not just want Azimio to have a limelight, because the presence of Martha Karua is also the face of Azimio in those events. So he just made it that, look here, I'm not going to give you because maybe him inviting Karua will be trying to show dalliance with Azimio. So if on political grounds that Mudavadi made that conscious decision, could be. But I see something interesting. Behind the scenes, everything was planned and organized under the watch of Musalia Mudavadi. And Mudavadi knew that was going to be a trap that would fix him and create suspicion within. They knew that maybe for him to invite Karua maybe was to create suspicion that he is now going to bed with Azimio. But could be unhappy Musalia is reaching out to Raila and Karua. And so they just decided that they don't want to show in public. But that meeting between Mudavadi and Atwoli could have been designed and could have been an opportunity for Mudavadi to reach out to the Azimio wing, or Azimio wing to reach out to Musalia Mudavadi. But it could be the other way around, because what do they get? What would Raila get from Mudavadi? Actually, Mudavadi will need Raila more than Raila needs Mudavadi. And so, I want to agree, number one, that Raila sent there Martha Karua. And when he sent Martha Karua, they knew very well that they wanted a picture of Martha Karua and Musalia Mudavadi in the same event, under the knowledge of Musalia Mudavadi. And Mudavadi could also be going after Karua to checkmate Rigathi Gachagua. Yes, because he's in government, he's privy to a lot of information, and there are a lot of loopholes, a lot of stories and scandals that are here and there that revolve around the office of the deputy president. Mudavadi could also bring Karua in the fold, and because he knows that in Mount Kenya there is a succession battle, transition, succession, Uhuru succession, and will easily sharpen Karua to checkmate Mudavadi, to suppress Rigathi. And Rigathi succession project is very key because it serves the interest of Musalia. And you know, let me tell you, if that event was attended by Raila, it would be normal because, okay, Raila was invited and Raila is, of course. But now that it was attended by Martha Karua, whether he decided he agreed to invite Martha or not, there could be a suspicion that Mudavadi is simply crafting a 2027 plan and has simply started campaigning. But I'm waiting to see if Ruto will be happy. If Ruto will be happy if he realizes that these members of his cabinet are actually campaigning on his succession. I would really want to see how that and how he can handle that. Number two, this meeting could have been state managed, and even Mudavadi declining to invite Karua could have been state managed, and Mudavadi could be reaching out to Raila for future politics and keep Ruto in the dark, vigilant. That he might have realized that Ruto is also, I've seen a report by what someone saying, I think just there's no problem. Chris Kumikucha was saying that Ruto is crafting a plan to reach out to Raila. Mudavadi could still be comfortable and go to a handshake with Raila. That will not be a public handshake. That will just be an agreement, behind the scene agreement with Raila, and that would be enough for him to craft his succession, his politics. So all these are on table. I took a lot of interest in this meeting because this was the first public event that Mudavadi was attending after he was sworn in. And people are looking into what exactly is his tone, what exactly will be his mantra, and he seems to be setting the tone. So if he starts not inviting leaders, and then tomorrow is going to be an event, national prayer breakfast or so, and there's no leaders on the fold, are we going to see that? But there is a consistent pattern. When Kalonzo Musyoka also attended Mashujaa Day, was he not ignored? He was ignored. And so, Mudavadi ignoring Karua is not new. And he knew very well that kwa sababu wale, they didn't recognize Kalonzo at the Mashujaa Day event, him publicly recognizing and of course sending an olive, extending humility to Karua would have been perceived as a political move. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my bold. Was Musalia Mudavadi right, for whatever reason, to ignore Martha Karua? What do you think?